What's up, everybody? It's your boy Kyle with the Bolt Bros, back at it once again. You know how we do. We set the timer to go for 1 o'clock, and so here we are, baby. It is once again that Sunday. We're doing a nice little show for you guys. We're just got to get this thing started, and I'm excited about this show that we got for you. We got a couple things we want to talk to you about. And it looked like Andy was a little bit running behind, but he's going to jump in just a second here. We are getting ready to talk to you a little bit about Ladd McConkey. He's been showing up a lot more in the OTAs, and we think he's going to have an amazing year in his sophomore year of being a Charger. And there's some rumors going around about Kyle Pitts potentially being ready to be traded. There's a word about that out there. So hey, hang on a second. Andy's messing around with some stuff right now.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about there. Are you what's going on here, Doug? Man, Kyle, I don't even know what you're talking about.
It might be on my side here.
There we go.
It's definitely on my side. So sorry about that, guys.
There
it is.
We are here. Let's get the show going.
Sam Kermit here, man. You watching the Boat Bros podcast. Stay tuned.
Charter blue dreams, stadium lights gleam. Boat Bros on the beat, lead stream. Chargers rocking speeds, Sonic supreme. From the podcast to the field, we're a team. Charged up, Boat Bros on the night. LA Thunder in electric delight. Bolts in the battle, sparking bright. Charged up, ride the lightning, feel the fright.
Yo, all right.
Hey.
All right, we're here, baby.
We're not going to talk about anything Kyle talked about today.
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's what the thumbnail's on. And you know what? And you got to fix your microphone, fool. You sound like you're distant. You sound like you're in a tunnel.
I don't know. You're talking about
Kyle Pitts. I haven't heard anything about that, so I guess you can talk about that. But
I'll talk about.
No, we're going to talk about OTA. So, Omarion Hampton has looked pretty amazing OTA so far, guys. And I don't know, what do you guys think? Here's the thing: Underwear Olympics. You're not seeing anybody out there hitting people or pads, anything like that at this point. But it's been pretty good. And what's up, guys? We got people coming around here. Miguel, Pappy. Oh, by the way. Did you talk about James? James is in Fresno. What the hell's there to do?
No, not. Yeah, we have not talked about that. Yeah, but he's MIA, going to random Fresno for some reason right now. So yeah.
Well, his wife's sister's family lives in Fresno. There ain't much to do in Fresno. By the way, I had So anyways, it's visiting some kids and stuff out there. But Omarion Hampton has looked actually amazing. So now. Again, if you guys watched my video I did earlier, that basically all he's talking about at this point, only skill players are really getting balls, right? So you're not right. Evaluating defensive linemen. You can't evaluate offensive linemen. You're just seeing people run out, catch the ball. Wow, great catch, yada yada. So, I know flaky ass Kyle's actually here. I know Kyle, you didn't even do your show on what was it, Thursday?
Yeah, man. Hey, look, man, I had.
He had a week.
No. I've not. It wasn't just a week, man. This was at least 6 weeks of intense training that I finally.
That is true.
Passed the test on, and I was just like feeling so exhausted from all that stuff. I just could not do anything. So I was like,
he's a professional stripper now. He's fully certified at this point.
Yes, you're right.
Fully certified.
My name, my stripper name is Mike Concho, so yeah.
Mike Concho.
Yeah.
It's such a good movie.
Yeah.
I love that movie. All right, we got a first super chat from Aether here. Here we go. Chargers fans, stop making excuses about tough schedule. That means our team is soft and not ready to compete. Bring it. I agree, man. Like I think we're going to be fine this year. I still think 11 wins season. Guys, I really am not joking. I really think 11 wins this season. I don't know that we get above 11 wins, but we're gonna have a much harder season for sure. But I think our team has gotten better. We're better than we were last year for sure. I will say
absolutely, yeah. Upward and onward on that one. Yep. I agree. For once, we agree with Aether here. Yeah.
Yeah. No. And Aether, thank you so much for that super chat. Really appreciate it for sure, dude.
Awesome, man. Yeah.
So Miguel says he's going to be getting singles and hundreds now. That's right. Mike Honcho.
Get those ready.
Change the name ready.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, that's the thing too, is like a lot of analysts are going to say that we're going to have a much worse record this year because of the tougher schedule that we have, you know, but I can't, I don't know. I can't see it. I mean, but historically we do have a tough time against playoff teams, but that's, hey man, history is, does not need to repeat itself all the time, and history past, situations do not mean that it's going to be future, actualities. You know what I'm saying? No.
Yeah.
It's not really the saying for it, but what happens in the past does not dictate the future,
There you go. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I get it. But no, again, Omarion Hampton has been pretty amazing. Going back to that conversation, right? I think Omarion Hampton has looked great. I know that some of the other wide receivers will look great as well too, but Omarion Hampton has looked absolutely amazing. You see the calves on him, dude? Guys,
yeah, dude. Goodness.
Absolutely gigantic. Now, I will say this too. I don't know that we're going to be done necessarily in free agency. I just read an article this morning that we might go after an offensive lineman for the Cardinals, Will something or other. He's like 30 years old. If Zion Johnson doesn't step up or they can't figure him out, yada, yada, and we'll go from there. But look, I still think there's going to be some opportunities. They're going to evaluate what they have in camp, and then they're going to say, great, all right, well, let's go get some other players. They got players they can trade as well, too. We got a lot of running backs. I think Rocket might even make the team. I mean, we'll see what happens there. Andrew, what you say? Kay Adams is listening. Kay, call me. Okay, it's time. It is time, Kay. I got a lot of cheesy jokes I could throw your way. You know what
I mean? Hey, you keep dreaming, bro. Keep dreaming, bro. Yeah.
We'll talk football, all the above.
That's right.
But anyways, I mean, again, Marion's looking great. A lot of people keep talking about him, but the other guy they keep talking about is our boy Trey Harris. And by the way, he is not signed. I think I checked last. He's still not signed. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think he's signed just yet.
Yeah.
There's probably an order of things that need to happen though before he can sign. I guess because he's 55 on the list. So, so yeah. I mean, it's gonna happen though. I mean, like he's not holding out. He's actually out there on the field. He's practicing with the team.
Correct.
He's doing what he needs to do, and his agent is just waiting to figure out all the dot all the I's and cross all the T's, yada yada.
Yeah. So Trey Harris, let me just double check. I'm pretty sure he's not signed yet.
Yeah.
Just double checking here. I don't think he is yet. So
yeah, I don't think
it's because he was the one. I think he was the one that we're still waiting. Yep. Now we're waiting. Hey, there's some good cards on him. No. But look, Trey Harris, dude, he is looking amazing. And I did this video early this week too, and I kind of want to restate it. And I want to get your opinion on this too, Kyle, because I don't think you talked about it. I know you were studying so much for your test. By the way, he is not a stripper. I'm just joking about that. Do you want to tell everyone what you're doing there, Kyle?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm working towards becoming a broker, for stocks and bonds and whatever things like that, So I'm working on getting my Series 7. So yeah, it's gonna be wild, man. So
it's a tough test too. I was actually talking to my buddy about it playing softball last night, and he works for Fidelity as well. So, anyways, but So I would just say this: if you can get Trey Harris to light up this year, make that X receiver amazing. And again, I think you're going to see a rotation. Mike Williams, you're going to see Trey Harris. You might see a couple of different X's out there that can open up things for QJ. QJ has looked great in camp, apparently. And again, we say this every year. He looks great in camp, but he just needs to put it on the field. But having Trey Harris open up and stretch the field has looked great. Keandre Lambert-Smith has looked good as well, too. Arondi Gatson has looked good as well, too. So just saying, I think this season, just talking about this season specifically, we really need these rookies to step up and produce. If that happens, I think sky's the limit with this team. And that's just kind of my general take on it as well. I don't know what your thoughts are there, Kyle. And what are your thoughts in the chat?
Yeah, I mean, Trey Harris, he's going to be an awesome weapon for the team for sure, because we all know and kind of tend to hate Quentin Johnston, like right now. Like, I mean,
yeah, well,
he's been putting in the work. He's been doing good in OTAs, and he improved from from the first year into the second year. It does seem like he's putting in the extra work to actually improve from second year to third year too, but it's still up in the air for us with him. Like, I mean, if the guy he gets the yips. That's the problem that I feel like I have with him. Like, he just is not there in that clutch situation, and that's a big problem. And we can't allow that. We can't have that. So, and that's where I wanted to go into, like, what I was talking about, like at the very beginning, is that there is a potential trade scenario for Quentin Johnston, and it is with the Atlanta Falcons to trade him for Kyle Pitts, and plus a 6th-round pick in 2026. I don't know if that's actually going to be possible or not, but just like you said, I mean, we kind of do like our tight end room as well right now. We got Disley, we got Conklin, and we got Gadsden now. And if Gadsden's actually showing up and, like, he's doing well, then we might not need Kyle Pitts. So
I don't think that's not. Look, we made 2 trades before last season. Right. We got Elijah Molden and we got Taylor Henneke. So anything can happen, guys. Like, I am not going to put anything off the table. And I think it's really going to boil down to what they've evaluated up to that point. Then they might say, hey, look, fine, let's go out and get somebody as well, because they might want a better blocking tight end or a better pass catching tight end. But Tyler Conklin, everyone is saying he looks good. And you listen to what Mad Money Smith said. Apparently he's doing great out there right now. So, and look, Trey Harris. Look, we all know what Ladd is. Ladd is amazing. Okay, don't even think for a second that he's not amazing. But again, I think these other players will just make him better. It'll open up the field more, give a little bit more space for him to work with as well too. But again, I think it's been great. And again, this is a great part by Pure Mustard. Run the ball, stop the run. Great special teams. I don't know. I just really think that we're going to run the ball better than we did last year. Last year, the unfortunate truth is we could not get the two-headed monster going. And if it is that we still keep J.K. Dobbins and have, Harris and Hampton, and I mean, who knows? Does Raheem Sanders make the team and then we lose Vidal? I mean, I'm just saying that's a lot of running backs, So we'll see how that plays out. But I just saying there's a lot of mouths to feed, but that's a good thing because it goes into what I was thinking about we should talk about as well too. It's going to help Justin Herbert be the best version of Justin Herbert because he doesn't have to carry the team. And thank you, Brad, for saying that as well. Yeah, guys, smash the like button, please.
That's right.
It's a share as well too, Yeah. Oh, it's DJ Dames. Oh, I like
that's right.
Interesting. So look, I think Herbert is set up to have a great year. And let me give you this one thought. If there's no excuses left for Herbert at this point, right? Herbert's got to win a game. He's got to win a postseason game. We need to get a win. So at this point, it's like it's put up or shut up at this point, right? For him. Now, I will say this also, he needs to stay healthy. So I think a few things that he's done, he took a hit in the Carolina game. He didn't need to. We're already beating him by 16 points. Just step out. Don't take the hit. And things like that I think, he's fixing his game. So I don't know. What are your thoughts about Herbert and everything as well?
Well, I mean, you kind of hit that. It's a bit of a sore spot for me. Obviously, it's that I feel like, I mean, Herbert is definitely running on thin ice when it comes to the fans right now. At least a big portion of them. Like, it's been increasing every single year just because we haven't had a playoff win with him. But hey, man, he's still a top 5 quarterback in my head, no matter what. Maybe you could. Some people might drop him down to top 10 just because he has not been able to win those playoff games. Obviously, it's not his fault alone that we've lost some games, But at the same side, it's like, look, we always have to remember too. It's like Peyton Manning. It took him about 8 years to actually get all the way to the big game and stuff. And so
it was quite a few.
Yeah, but I understand where that is a painful point for a lot of us Chargers fans is because we've been patient for 60 something years now, and nothing's happened out of it. Like, I mean, we've had so many close calls with Dan Fouts era and with Phillip Rivers era and Stan Humphries era, but we've just never been able to get to the game, and our patience is running thin. And so I can understand where people might be like saying, hey, look, put up or shut up, so that's just it.
Yeah. I think, and to Brad Scully's points here, we need an elite guard or a center. I think our line is going to be solid. I think we're going to be fine with what we have. You can always want more, guys. Of course, we're going to want more. It's just it's like in Madden, right? You got some 70s, you got some 80s, you're working your way up all the 90s and yada yada. But my point is this: is you're never going to always, especially in the NFL, it's really hard to always have top tier players every year, because you got a salary cap, right? And you do have to adhere to it. It's a lot different than baseball. Look at the Dodgers, look at some of these other teams that have just gigantic salaries, and they just price everyone out of being competitive at this point, right? But the reality is this: I think we have a good enough team. I think we're going to be fine, right? Yeah. Now, the one thing I will say too, and get one final thought about the running backs. The thing that I think is going to be an interesting thing to see in camp: can Kamani Vidal do a good enough job with pass protection? I don't think he did a great job with that so far. And I think that's also why Isaiah Spiller didn't see the field hardly ever, is because he was very bad at pass protection. So someone like Raheem Sanders, yeah, he's a big freaking dude. Yes, he's fast, but he will also lay out that linebacker or that corner that's going to come in and try and hit Herbert. You're protecting your quarterback. And that's one thing Omarion Hampton does way better than someone like a Genty, right? Genty is a very good explosive player. Omarion Hampton likes that type of contact, and he's willing to take it because he's a big dude. So I'm just saying, this is kind of the evaluation piece from the third, the fourth running back, who makes the squad, who doesn't make the squad, who makes practice squad. I think that could come down to it. This situation is weird. So yeah, I think it's interesting to think about.
And Craig, brings up a great point though about Kyle Pitts. It's a weird situation. Johnston had 8 touchdowns last year. Pitts has a total of 10 for his entire career. The injury that Pitts had screwed him up big time. And you're right. But it is still a first round draft pick for a first round draft pick. So I don't know. Look, it could also just be that Pitts in Atlanta is just not a great situation for him. They've never had a great quarterbacks. Yeah, in Atlanta for a while, even with Kirk Cousins, that was probably his best opportunity to get something going, but that kind of crashed and burned pretty fast. So, well,
good example. Look at Will Dissly. Will Dissly had his best season ever with the Chargers. And he's predominantly just a blocking tight end. So, the argument is that you're always going to get more out of Herbert's going to get the most out of his players he possibly can. Right. So, and again, I think that's why I'm so excited about this season, right? Because look, what if this guy makes the squad, right? Rocket Sanders. This dude, he's a freaking big dude. Guys, I was watching his tape. I was like, damn, this guy's big. And dude, he's almost 240. And he's fast. And, and again, guys, at the end of the day too, who was it? Joe Ortiz said, look, he was a draftable player. So we wanted him. And the fact that we got him as an undrafted free agent, they're super happy. Now, anyways, I just think, we'll go from there. Oh, y'all like your Rams let you sleep on the couch. Oh man. Hey, the Rams are going to be good this year too, though. I will say this. The Rams are going to be very good this year.
That's the cheapest rent in all of LA, man. $1 per year,
$1 per year. Yeah.
I got enough, in my pocket right now to last for the next 20 years easily. So yeah, we good. I wish I could sleep on that couch. Let me tell you that much. Shoot.
Yeah, no joke. That stadium is absolutely beautiful, guys. It's so fun being there for those games. Anyways, I think, Fred just says this. No way I would cut Sanders if he's 100% healthy. I agree. Look, to me, it's going to come down to Kamani Vidal and Raheem Sanders, maybe even Hassan Haskins. Here's the thing. Haskins has done a great job in special teams. So I do wonder if that, Haskins, beats him out for that. But I don't know that this guy makes it to the practice squad, I think Raheem Sanders is that good. So who knows? But we'll see how it all plays out. And I really think the 4 preseason games are going to make a huge difference of who makes the team, who doesn't make the team. And I think it's going to be pretty interesting for sure. So,
yeah, definitely. I mean, it just all comes down to opportunity. Look, like you said, it's a very crowded running back room that we have right now. We got Najee, we got Omarion, we still do have J.K. Dobbins until someone else decides that they want to make an offer on him.
Yep.
Honestly, right there, that's it. Like, it's set right there. Like, we might not even need Vidal, we might not even need Sanders and stuff like that. So, or any other running backs in our room like there. But there's opportunities in the special teams side of things as well. So, or like, punt returners, kickoff returners, something like that. That could be how they make their spot, because who knows? I mean, are they going to use Darius Davis for returning still, or are they going to put him somewhere else? I don't know.
Could be Keandre Lambert-Smith as well too. And then the other guy was last year it was Ladd McConkey as well too. But yeah, I mean,
right.
The tight end depth is great. Like I don't. Again, maybe I'm a little weird, but I don't really feel like there's any holes in this team.
Yeah.
I don't see it right now. Now, Pipkins, Zion, again, Pipkins, we'll see how that plays out. I'm very curious to see how that rotation plays out. If Zion can play center and you move Bradley Bozeman to left guard, that would be pretty awesome too. But who knows? One of the big talks of the week also is Rashan Slater getting signed, right?
Mm-hmm.
There is some real, I believe he's correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I think he's the only player that has not reported to OTAs, if I remember correctly. Anybody down, let me know. I think he's the only one. But he's holding out because he's waiting for a fat contract. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are saying $150 million, right? So this could be a 5 or 6 year deal, something like that. So it's going to be big. It's going to be big. And he deserves it.
Yeah, he absolutely deserves it. And truth is, we got the money for it next year for sure.
100%.
We got 100. I don't need to talk about too much of it next year, but we have currently $110 million in cap space for next year. So, they are definitely going to throw the kitchen sink at him. So, and make sure. There's obviously, and yes, you're right, Mark. There is some rumors going on about that there's kind of big trouble in Little China, I guess, you know what I'm saying? So,
Maybe be tripping, though. Maybe tripping. They be tripping.
So, and if honestly, if that's the reason why he's holding out, I won't 100% respect that, because, I don't know. That's not cool with some, I don't know. Divorce is not fun. Let's just say that, and, it can be a lot worse for him if he gets that contract before that stuff is all finalized.
Well, especially in California too, right?
Especially in California. Goodness gracious.
You will get raked over the coals, man. In fact, I remember, again, it's a little bit of a tangent, but, it'll be interesting to see, if that really is the case. If it is, then I could see why he'd want to wait, because if he has all that money, then a good chunk of that money is going to go her direction, right? So, we'll see how that plays out. Anyways, but I do think it's interesting though. But he's probably the big guy. And again, we have, I believe, $30 million still available.
Yes.
So, it's a lot of money, man. And I think let's put 26 million available. And let me think. Let me just double check over the cap.
Well, at this point too, it doesn't matter if we go over the cap right now.
Yeah, correct. Yep.
Yeah. So because that deadline's already passed, so they can spend a bunch more money and then do the little salary cap is a myth magic, and just move things around as much as they want, So, obviously, I'm not concerned about it. I think that we are going to keep Slater no matter what. It may just be a minute, So yeah, that's just.
And I'm not seeing. It's interesting. I'm not seeing him signed yet. So I was just seeing if Trey Harris was signed. I don't see him on here yet.
That's right. That's right, Rob. That the wifey is for the streets. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Look, I ain't gonna lie too. I don't know. It's just there's a lot of weird things that happen with like a lot of these athletes. Whatever. I mean, I remember hearing that Steph Curry's wife cheated on him and stuff too. Like he's like one of like the greatest basketball players like in the currently playing right now. Like and that didn't matter to her. No hand, nothing. Yeah. But
well, look, it's tough. I mean, I think it would be tough to be, celibate when you're, on the road and women are throwing. I mean, you saw how it was in camp last year. You see those two Bettys that were sitting next to us that whole time in that booth, and they were hanging out. I mean, they were freaking smoking, and I'm like, wow, look at these chicks,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we know all the players. We hang out. I'm like, they're total groupies, right? So,
total.
And I just kept thinking to myself, I'm like, man, that would be really hard if
True.
you're these players and you got a family and all that. It's just how it is. So at the end of the day, gonna be very interesting. But the wide receiver battle is going to be interesting to see. The running back battle is going to be interesting to see. I'm excited. There's so much that's going to happen this season, and I think a second year under Harbaugh is going to be so much better. And guys, I don't really feel like we had the right complete team. I think we have enough depth now to go as deep as we want to in the playoffs and in the regular season. I think our offensive line bet is better. Now, again, people got to stay healthy. Let's make that very clear. Mekhi Becton needs to stay healthy. I'd love our tackles to stay healthy, but that's not 100%, possible. Yeah. Andrew Kyle, people have needs. That's for sure. That's for sure. They got needs. They got needs. Well, actually, that one girl was there. She wanted to see Rump Shaker. Yeah, she knew Rump Shaker or whatever. And then one of the other girls wanted Kamani Vidal. No, it wasn't Kamani Vidal. It was the other running back we had that got cut last year. Trying to blank on his name. Anyways, another undrafted trade.
I think they were talking to Roundtree.
Roundtree. That's who it was. Yes, Roundtree. Yes,
they were talking about Larry Roundtree for like a good, a good hour.
Yeah, that's right. It was Roundtree. Yeah. So, but again, I mean, they're good-looking girls, and I'm like, wow, okay, they're hanging out. Anyways, I just think it's interesting. So we'll see. Miguel says, "What's the Chargers' record if we don't?" Not good.
Boy. Yeah, maybe not good. I would dare I'd say in 9-8. I would say probably. Yeah. Because that's a critical position there. But at the same time though too, we got Jamari Sawyer, who obviously in Georgia he was a left tackle. Yeah. So or you could even just shift Joe Alt to the left side. I mean, that's where he played originally too. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it would be definitely difficult. I would be worried a lot for sure though without Slater.
Yeah, I mean, he's so amazing. And you remember what was it last year? Or was it the year before?
It was 2 years ago. He tore his pectoral or something like that. Yeah.
Bicep.
Yeah.
And that might be part of why that's kind of holding him back a little bit as well too. But anyways, we can talk about the wide receiver room a little bit as well too. Old Ladidi here, man.
Okay.
Actually, did I send that over? I know I put it on our YouTube
on the rise.
Page. Yeah, he is on the rise. he is on the rise. But I did put let me pull it up. I did put it on our page. Maybe I did send it to you as well, but his route tree was incredible. Let me try and pull it up as we're talking about Ladidi.
I think you did send it up on the YouTube posts. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Let's see here. Let's see if I can find it here. Actually, I'll send it over to myself.
I mean, I did see some stuff too. Is just like Quentin Johnston, Ladd McConkey has been putting in a lot of work off season as well. So he's not sleeping, resting on his laurels, as they say. He's in the weight room. He's doing squats with like a good 100-pound things. He's pulling those weights and still running like easily 4 or 5, something like that on the 40. He's running around on the beach. He's doing everything he needs to. He's he's putting in the work. And so, if anything, what that's obviously what we like to see. And he already had an amazing rookie season, but if that's going to be the kind of mentality that we get from him, going into the second season, I am freaking ecstatic, man. I know Pablo. So he was a third place winner for the year-round thing, and so he wants a Ladarius McConkey jersey, and
very cool.
I'm actually definitely going to get him one of those, so that's for sure. So
good, Pablo. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, and Pablo, you the man, dude. So we'll definitely get you hooked up as well too. Yeah, we've had a lot of fun. And again, the thing about Ladidi too, what makes him so good is his degrees of separation, right? He separates so well, and that's really what Keenan Allen did well. Keenan Allen wasn't the fastest, but he was good at creating the separation.
Right. That was second place
cornerback.
My bad. Yeah.
Oh, second place.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, the third place, you get a lap dance from Kyle. So you'll be his final.
It was James, because he has to get the foggy glasses and stuff like that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the foggy glasses. That's right. Foggy glasses. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. That's so funny. No, let me get this slide. I got the slide ready to go. So let me show you this.
Yeah, you got it.
Hold on just a sec. Yeah, I need to switch it up here.
Well, yeah. So, so if you guys haven't, so like I said though before, guys, like on that with all those points, I'm still trying to figure out a way that I can set it up so that way you can redeem those points for discounts in our shop and stuff like that. So that'll be great.
Yeah.
So,
and we got to get some new merch out as well too. We've been talking about a lot of new merch. I got a couple of ideas. We were looking at a few things, and again, we got some other things cooking too, guys. So stay tuned. We'll have some more to talk about in the next couple of weeks. So. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves too much, but there's some good things cooking. But look at his route tree here, guys. Mm-hmm. Now again, it's interesting. I was looking at Quentin Johnston's. Man, I wish we had some other ones to compare to, but like to give you an example, this is why Trey Harris probably dropped. Right, his post was like 70%, his corner was like 60 some percent. So he had like 3 of them that were green. But again, he was also in an offense that pretty much ran posts and corners, and that was kind of it. Maybe slants, that's about it. But for the most part, they didn't have a route tree like this. I mean, this is just nuts. Comebacks, curls, he does it all. Now, again, Quentin Johnston, maybe not a 9. He was terrible. His outs were okay. His digs were okay. Curls were okay. Slants were good, but his posts and corners were really bad. So it's not really an X receiver. You get what I'm saying? The fact that he can do all of this and these are the rates, that's crazy. Like, it just goes to show you he's that good, and he confuses the corner really well. And he understands defenses as well too. He understands, hey, all right, they're playing cover 2. This should be open. I just think it's absolutely amazing. So I had to share. I thought it was pretty cool about Ladd McConkey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty sweet. And I would feel like, if we ever pull up Quentin Johnston's route tree, I think it's going to be much simpler than this.
Yes.
I think, because honestly, I kind of want Ladd to be more of our deep route guy. Because someone that has like a little bit more reliable hands and gets that separation. Because it doesn't seem like that's what Quentin Johnston's great at. So, like, I mean, I feel like Quentin's going to be good in that medium to short route situation.
Yes.
So, and that's where like he thrives to get that yards after catch afterwards and stuff. So,
well, guys, and this is where, look, this is not bad for Quentin though, guys. He's a big dude. He does not get hurt.
Yeah.
And look, you could use him, line him up at the slot and just kind of slip him underneath the defense, make it kind of like a real quick screen right down the middle, and he's just cutting to the right or the left side. Give him that space. Use him for yards after catch type of scenarios. Whereas use Trey Harris for the deep stuff, Mike Williams for the deep stuff, Ladd McConkey for the deep passes. You know what I'm saying? The more complicated routes, but use him for more the, as sort of like a tight end, just find the open spot in the zone and sit. But I just think there's a lot to be said about that. But again, the reason I guess I'm bringing up Ladd also as well too, because Trey Harris is now our 2nd round pick and he's a wide receiver. If we can get Trey Harris to be the 2nd round pick and absolutely steps up, becomes like Ladd McConkey this next year. And guys, a lot of people are hyping him up right now to be that guy.
Right.
Guys, and he hasn't been a wide receiver that long. Trey Harris has only been a wide receiver a couple of years. Remember, he was a quarterback. He was a quarterback for oh my gosh, who is the wide receiver? Why am I drawing a blank on his name? We wanted to get him. He went to the Giants, the wide receiver that we were going to get over. Oh my God, why am I drawing a blank on his name? The wide receiver that went to the Giants, 1st round pick. He was throwing the ball to him.
Shoot, yeah, I know.
Oh my gosh,
I can't.
what is his name?
Blank on. I'm blanking out on it.
Someone's gonna say it in the chat, but
yeah.
Oh, Malik Neighbors, yes. So Trey Harris was the quarterback throwing the ball to Malik Neighbors, and he just converted to wide receiver. So I'm just saying that like his upside is going to be really high, right? I think Ladd slipped because of size and durability questions. And I just think Trey's going to be amazing. He's looked really great at camp,
right.
But again, we'll see how it plays out when pads start hitting.
Yeah. Yes, right.
QJ Sats, he can't catch a football. Yeah, well, hey, we can't be perfect, boys. I guess it's important. It's important.
By the way, Andy, I did just throw in another slide.
Oh, you did? Okay, cool.
It's for what Pablo just actually said in the chat here.
Okay.
So it's just a little shout out to the IE diehards. I think it's right after that one you just shared. If you want to kind of go to it or whatever. But yeah, so the IE diehards have their annual 6th annual camp out. It's gonna be fan-freaking-tastic. I mean, I've gone to the couple of them in the last couple of years, and of course I wasn't able to ever camp out because I had work and stuff like that, and unfortunately I'm not able to make this time as well because I'm still deep in the weeds of studying to get my Series 7 now. It's super great time. They barbecue, awesome turnout for the Chargers fans, like Boltman usually there. All the tailgaters are usually there, and it's just like a couple days of just having a great time, eating food, celebrating, and relaxing, chillaxing. They were last year trying to get midget wrestling to show up at the camp out and stuff like that, but that was going to be like $1,000 per wrestler out there. So that was definitely not in the budget. So yeah.
And that is hilarious, by the way. They wanted us to commentate that. They're like, "Oh, you guys commentate it?"
Yeah.
That would have been so funny. That would have been hilarious. I would have loved it.
They wanted us to be Rick Ross and all the those WWE
and coming out as a half squat.
Yeah.
He's as mean as your mother-in-law.
Yeah.
Anyways, we would have had fun with it, but that'd be pretty good. And guys, get involved in your community. That's one thing too, Kyle. We need to probably talk about doing something here in Utah as well.
Yeah,
I think we need to try and find I know a place right next to my house, but it's the Bills always rent out the basement. The food's pretty good, so maybe we'll try and do something like that. We'll find a place somewhere. We really should do something. It'd be pretty good.
Yeah, I would love to set up like an event and have the director show up to it too. It wouldn't be for the games and stuff, but yeah, like we can, that'd be awesome to set up.
Maybe before the game or something. We got to figure something out.
Yeah, exactly.
We should talk to the director about that too. Yeah, and guys, and thank you so much, Elliot. Yeah. To clarify, he was throwing him in high school, not college. Correct. So when he went to college, he switched over to wide receiver, yada yada. But anyways, yeah, thank you for correcting that as well too.
Mm-hmm.
So, but look, I know, to me, I think there's a lot to be said about this. Now, again, when I look at our weapons, I don't see a lot of weapons we need more of. I think at this point, I think we're going to be fine. I just think we got to stay healthy. To me, I just really truly feel like it is. And again, I would not mind getting someone like a Kyle Pitts as well too. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
But we'll have to see how this goes as well too. So I think
like it's kind of like I don't know. Should we go for Kyle Pitts? I mean, look, Hayden Hurst was a first-round tight end draft pick too, right? Or at least high or something like that. So it's like, I mean, that didn't turn out too well. Like, I mean, I'd be curious to see what happens with Gadsden before we kind of go out and start just like, okay, I'm a little worried about the tight end room now. Let's go get somebody else. Like, I mean, so I don't know. I feel like we should probably try to see what Gadsden can do first. And maybe we'll obviously the coaches are going to see him out there on the in practice and stuff like that. So that's going to be it. Like, and so if we did actually go for Kyle Pitts, then I would be like, okay, I guess there is some trouble in the tight end room. I guess that's what's going on here.
And so far Gadsden's looked really good. Everything I've heard people talk about, they're like, he's looking great. By the way, Omarion Hampton's looking good. Najee Harris is looking good. They're catching deep bombs. I mean, deep bombs. And I'm like, wow, those are running backs. So
correction, bro. They're called Herbo Bombs.
Herbo Bombs. That's right, dude. I like
Yeah.
that. I like Herbo Bombs. I like that. No. But like, yeah. Oh, and by the way, okay. So let's talk about Larry, and then I got a funny comment about Bosa as well too. So I know George just threw a comment out there. But who's the Chargers starting center? I still think it's going to be Bozeman personally.
Mm-hmm.
I think we probably will have Zion Johnson play left guard as well. I wouldn't also be surprised if Pipkins was thrown in the mix there as well too. I mean, think about it this way: what if you had Bozeman and then you had Pipkins as the left guard? Dude, that is a freaking big ass offensive line. I mean, think about that for a second, dude. Right. Guys. And again, could he do it though? Who knows? Let me just look at that. Let me. I can't remember how big.
I mean, like, but it seems like though we're not really like we're not going to let go of Pipkins anytime soon. That's for sure. It seems like it didn't happen yet, so there's no reason to let him go now. So because I think it was pre-June 1st cuts that we would potentially be able to save some money with him or something. So we obviously opted not to do that, and so we're going to keep Pipkins for the time being. Hey, look at that. We just got ourselves another super chat. Hey, let's go.
Let's go. Let's take a look at it. I'm just looking at the weights. Pipkins is 307. That seems a little light to me. Does that seem light to you? I swear to God, I think he was bigger than that.
That's still like about double my size. So.
Well, I mean, like let's make that very clear. Yeah, but I mean, that's pretty. It's pretty damn big. I mean, oh man, sometimes I thought he was bigger than that.
I mean, Max Clare type of tight end, 2026. OG, not it. Okay, yeah. I mean, that'd be good. Like, look, we have to figure out what we got in tight end before we can really start thinking about the next year. I feel like, for sure. But yeah, I mean, I like that. Like, I've been wanting a tight end for a long time. Ever since we let go of Hunter Henry, I've wanted us to get some kind of tight end replacement for him, So, but we just haven't had that. We've kind of been in limbo on a solid tight end staple for Justin Herbert this entire time. And so, I mean, I agree. I think we need somebody there, but hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully Gadsden's it. I don't know, man.
Well, so I don't. So here's the thing. Here's where I would push back just a little bit. Amari Gadsden is not really a tight end. He's more of a wide receiver. So think of, so he lines up as the slot. They call him a slot tight end. So don't think of him really as think of him a lot more like oh my God, Parham. There we go, Parham.
Okay.
Yeah. So think of him like Parham. He's more of like a red zone, goal line guy, yada yada. That's what he does. But he's got pretty good speed too. So he goes down the field. Apparently he's looking even bigger. I guess Matt Money Smith said he looks a lot bigger than he expected him to be. And of course, Matt Money's 150 pounds soaking wet. But I say that. And anyways, I just think that Gadsden could be that guy. But that's also relying on a lot of rookies to really step up this year and be successful. That's where teams like the Chiefs and that's where teams like the Eagles and the Ravens, some of the better teams, they got their cherries on top, the rookies they got, right? They already got their team. Yeah. But, really at year 3 is probably when people really expect the Chargers to do a lot better. Yeah. But, but again, I do think that, if these guys can hit like we think they can, like they did last year, I think we'd be in fine shape. So,
and I always think about why Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes, why they work so well together, And I really just think it's because I think Kelce kind of has a kind of an interior clock in his head. If he realizes that the ball has not gone off in 5 seconds or whatever, he's like, okay, what's going on? So he turns around and he looks to see where Mahomes is. And then it becomes more like a freestyle play at that point where okay, I'm going to run towards where he needs me to be. And that's it. So if Mahomes is running to the right because he's scrambling or whatever, that's okay, Kelce needs to kind of start heading that direction to get into position for him. And that's actually what I really want a tight end to be with Herbert, and if Gadsden is that receiver type tight end, then that's perfect because I don't think Kelce's not much of a blocker either.
No, he doesn't block. He's more like a slot tight end as well too.
Yeah. Right.
So again, we already have two of those guys, Disley and Tucker Fisk.
Yeah,
they're the blockers, right? And then obviously Matlock will come in and be that kind of power fullback. But guys, remember, someone's already talking about Steve-O Klotz. People keep talking about him all the time.
Yeah.
And that guy's going to hit people, dude. Dude, he is violent. And so I just think, dude, we we're tenderizing that meat. We're tenderizing that meat.
That's right.
And then Mark Davis. I thought cherries were on the bottom. Yeah, well, they could be anywhere. You know what I mean? But no. So somebody said, going back to
the cherries are on the bottom of a martini, but not on ice cream. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Going back to this Max Clare. I guess he.
Of course, that's olives, I think, actually, right? Yeah.
But Clare, I think he was a tight end at Purdue, and now he's at Ohio State. So. Interesting guy, but he'll be coming out in 2026. So anyway, Steve-O Klotz not getting on the field. Come on now. Well, again, we'll see what happens what he can do in special teams, and think of it this way. If you could have a full-time fullback, a guy that can just be a bruiser and play special teams and be a guy that can also, move some bodies out there and then allow someone like, Matlock continue to just be a straight up defensive lineman.
Yeah,
that has value, right? So again, it's all these undrafted free agents, all these guys like that. It's going to boil down to special teams. What do they do on special teams? Can they show some value that way? But like I said, anything can happen. You'll see how it goes.
Yeah. And a lot of people do forget about that. Special teams is a massive part of the game.
Big.
Because a lot of games are won by a field goal. More than anything, they're just won by that many points.
Yep.
And we do need a lot of people for that side of the ball as well. So it's very possible that Klotz can go there. Same with Raheem Sanders. We talked about that. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So and Kyle Kernard's been doing a lot with special teams as well too, as an edge rusher. And I think the reason why they're doing that is because Thule will have to step up and be the starter since we lost Bosa. And by the way, Bosa is hurt again. Calf injury or something like that, I think is what he's got. Let's see.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly what it was.
I think it is. Yeah, you're right. Calf injury.
Oh
but
my
man,
gosh.
I tell you,
dude.
I think this is really just, like I said, I've felt like a long times that sometimes he's like, oh, you know what? I don't want to practice. So he just kind of, makes that injury kind of happen, he just and I don't know. I don't want to say that players intentionally injure themselves or whatever to get out of having to do anything or whatever. But I mean, hey, we've all called in sick when we're not actually sick,
Yeah.
So,
It's interesting. I just looking up some stats on Bosa. Bosa, and this is we can wrap up on this too. Injury seemed to have caught up with Joey Bosa a bit in 2024. He ranked just 71st among edge defenders with a 61.1 PFF grade overall. That was 10 points lower than his previous worst mark in 2018.
Goodness.
When he was at his best, he was a top 10 edge. Again, it's injuries, guys. His body's falling apart, so why or how that's happening, bad. I had no idea. And I was like, that is just terrible. But at the end of the day, I did notice that we're actually still paying him $10 million, I believe, in dead cap money.
We do have some dead cap on him. Yeah.
Yeah. 11 million. Khalil Mack's getting 8 million. So Khalil Mack is actually going to make, let's see, Khalil's going to make almost $26 million. Am I doing is my math correct on that? 26 million. Yeah. Anyways, that's a lot. So he's going to get paid a lot for his last season potentially. So we'll see what happens.
Eggnog hits on something there too. Sometimes we actually do play better without Joey Bosa anyways. Just because, and I think the only reason why is because let's be honest, when him and Mac are out there on the field and they're playing at a high level, it's amazing to watch and fantastic to watch. But Bosa does not control his emotions well, and he is a liability with penalties sometimes, especially in those big games or whatever. Against the Jaguars, he started falling apart against the not quote unquote playoff game. Against the Raiders, there was some stuff. He's just losing his mind at the end of the season. It's just like, man. you gotta keep those emotions in check. But you're right though, Andy. Like, I mean, he has like in his career like at least 12 injuries or something. So like, man, that's a lot. That's way too many injuries, man. Like I was talking about it last year. I was like, he may be forced into a early retirement. So yeah.
Yeah.
And Pablo, yeah, you calling sick because you really need to go snowboard in Utah? Yeah, man, come on out, man. Hey, make it happen. There's not much.
We'll show you a good time.
Yeah, there's not much snow out here anymore, though. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, it's hot. I went to the farmer's market today. It is hot. It was like 90 some degrees. I was like, damn, I'm dying. But but it was great. Good, super fun farmer's market as well. You know what though?
So. We can always go tubing down the river or something like that.
That's right.
Fun. Yeah,
we'll show you a good time. If you guys come out to Utah, you let us know. Kyle and I are out here as well. We'd love to see you guys for sure.
Yeah, we'd love to host you.
Yep. So. Well, let me wrap up. I'll give you some of my final thoughts and let you wrap up, Kyle, and then we'll go from there. Okay. So, look, I'll just say this. I think our team is pretty well set. I do think that we're moving the right direction. I think we have the right players. I think we have the right everything. And honestly, I don't know that we really need more of anything. I just really don't. I think the only thing that I'll say this. If we go and get anybody, you're going to know that room is the lightest room. Mm-hmm. So let's say we sign a corner or a lineman or, maybe a defensive lineman or whatever. Maybe at that point we didn't see enough good stuff from that group. They got to go out and get somebody else. I mean, you might say, well, duh. But my point is, I think right now, if I'm evaluating the team, I think the team is fine. I think it's ready to go. I think they've done enough. And I think there's enough backups across the board to get the right team moving forward. Having said that, during the season, due to injuries, we're going to continue stacking players and signing more off the waiver wire as well too. We did a lot of that last year. I expect us to 100% do it again this as well too. So it's gonna be awesome. I think we're ready to go, man. I'm more excited for this year than I was last year. 100%. I think our team is that much better. I truly expect our team to be better. I'm saying 11 wins. I think 11 or 12 wins is very possible for the Chargers this season. Mm-hmm. That's my take.
There you go. Yeah, and I'll piggyback off that one just a little bit. But yes, the current odds are that the Chargers are going to be over 9.5 games, and so I'm thinking about putting my money on that bet as well.
Yeah,
and just kind of making that one happen and let it ride a little bit more. And because why the heck not? Because I definitely think that we can get 10 wins for sure this year. So because look, man, I believe in Harbaugh, I believe in Ortiz, I believe in Herbert. I believe in Harris. I believe in Hampton. I believe in who other H name player that we got on the team.
Herbert.
I said Herbert. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But the fact is, look, Ladd McConkey has definitely proven himself his rookie year. I think the sky's the limit. He's going to do even better in his sophomore year.
Yeah.
I definitely can see that happening. And look, man, let's not forget that we still got Mike Williams as well. And I think we talked about this in the group chat a little bit, but we didn't bring it up. But and he's looking great out there. But if anything, the reason why we want to keep Quentin Johnston is just to limit Mike Williams' time on the field, so that way Mike Williams can stay healthy for longer in the season. Because obviously Mike Williams is like the number one 50-50 ball kind of guy that we got for sure. And if we can only use him in those clutch situations, that's going to be insanely awesome for us.
So, it will be. It will be.
And, but I say, man, look, Hampton, I'm excited to see what Hampton does. Cause honestly, I love running backs. Like my two favorite positions in the NFL are running back and linebackers. Those are my favorite positions that I like to, kind of follow and pay attention to. And so, man, I'm looking forward to seeing Hampton do some stuff and get those tutties, baby, get those tutties.
It's going to be good stuff, and I really do think that you're going to see a rotation of players, right? I mean, my question is, are we going to have 3 running backs or 5 wide receivers, 6 wide receivers? What do we do there? I mean, look, Conklin looks good, guys. I'm just saying, there's no excuses for Herbert this time. There's that many great weapons for Justin Herbert now. I truly believe we're going to be he's gonna have a breakout year. I really do. I think he's gonna do well. And again, if we could get the running game going, keep them off balance a little bit, it'll open up the pass game. It's gonna be exciting. And Conklin, everyone's sleeping on him, dude. Everyone's sleeping on him. In fact, I'm a little surprised. Nobody's really talking about him, but right now out of camp, he's looking really good. So, then Gatson doesn't have to be that guy stepping up, but you could you could have him come out for some very specific plays. Dude, it's just I don't see holes in this team. I just don't. I really don't. I don't see us going, oh, well, our defensive line really sucks. I mean, some people keep saying that. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like the guys we scooped up, Hand and I keep forgetting the other guys that we scooped up as well. I think Aboybe is going to have a great season as well, too. Jamari Caldwell will probably be good. Dude, that's 340. He is 340. Now, do I expect him to be like the absolute stud right out of the gate? Probably not. But anyways, I'm just saying, I feel like across the board, we've got enough depth. They're going to at least pick the starters, and then we'll have depth behind them. So I'm really happy about that. So anyways, plenty of time, guys. Hopefully this is a good show for you. And we'll get some more videos for you guys going this week as well, too. I know it's kind of quiet season. Here's the thing. Well, I would say there's one last thing, too. I don't like to do videos like, oh, hey, guys, what are the 5 things we need to do to get the offense here and there? And what do we need to do on the defense? That just gets kind of weird to me. It's like such an opinion-based thing. I'm not a huge fan about that. I'd rather just wait for real news to come up, and then we just talk about it then. That makes more sense to me. Yeah. I guess we could kind of talk about that a little bit more on these lives, but during the week, I want it to be real news. That's kind of my view.
Yeah.
So.
I get you. Yeah. And truth is, yes. Like, I mean, that's kind of why and another reason why I didn't really want to do my Thursday shows, like, well, there's really not much news coming out, So it's like, I mean, I was like, well, I mean, we could have just flapped our gums for a little bit, but I just felt like, on top of the fact that I just, got over this big hurdle, and I was like, really just needing, I was getting old. I wanted to take a mighty nap, Yeah, but I'll get back on this Thursday for sure. So
the big news is we're gonna get some merch out too. So we got to get some more. We got some cool ideas on merch. So we need to work on that as well. All right, guys. Well, we're the Boat Bros. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Boat Bros, let's go.
Let's go.
Hey, what's up? Cameron Dick here watching Boat Bros podcast. Let's go.
Charged up, Boat Bros on the night.